Hello, buddy. This is Ryan here with Bill. Say hi, Bill.
Hey, how's
Uh,
it going?
And we are here with a Total Extreme Wrestling TEW 2020 to book some more WWE x AEW. So, if you haven't seen the first episode of this yet, we're collaborating for a run in TEW. Um, we have the WCW series going, which by the way isn't dead. We are gonna go back to it, but we just had some schedule and stuff that's been coming up recently. But this run is about we both have a company we're booking in current days. I'm booking WWE, Bill's booking AEW, and we're just seeing what each of us brings to the table and seeing who kind of books the better show or who just how each of us books. So
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah, so if you missed the last episode, I booked my first Raw, Bill booked their first Dynamite, and next up will be Friday Night SmackDown, and then Bill will also book a Collision, and we might go a little further than that, we might not, we'll see how it plays out, we'll let you know as the
I
episode
have the
plays out.
next Dynamite book too, but I suspect it probably won't be happening this time because it takes us substantially longer to book than to actually record.
Yeah, we will, it just depends on how long we take to book each show, but we'll see. But anyways, on that note, we will come back to you guys when Friday Night SmackDown is booked. Well, we are back a little sooner than expected because we got some incidents waiting for us, so let's check them out. Let's see what Mia Yim's up to. Mia Yim brightened the backstage area simply by being so cheerful and fun to be around. Mia Yim has the irrepressible personality and currently has normal morale. Well, that's nice.
Oh, that's a good one because now you can book some stuff that like people aren't going to be happy with, and they'll get less mad because they're cheerful from dealing with me like him.
Well, that's great. Carl Anderson was brought before Wrestler's Court, accused of being absorbed by his phone when he should have been paying attention to a locker room meeting. That sounds accurate. The judge, The Undertaker, found him guilty, which Undertaker doesn't have a picture, we'll fix that at some point, and sentenced him to buy a crate of beer. And a positive impact on Carl Anderson. We'll just check.
It,
These are, protege stuff.
is Taker even in your locker room?
Apparently. He's probably just like a agent or
He
something.
must be like an agent.
Anyways, we will be back when SmackDown is done. We are back. Friday Night SmackDown is booked. Let's start this show. Ouch.
That's a lot of red for something that's still got a 56.
Yeah. Obviously Roman carried, but we are opening the show with the Bloodline as well. You know how in real life the Bloodline Civil War happened at Money in the Bank, but it's happening tonight as Roman and Solo were in the ring. Roman was talking to Smack. The Usos come out. They provoke Roman until he agrees to have the Bloodline Civil War tag team match in the main event tonight on SmackDown. So stay tuned for that. Oh, Paul helped Roman Reigns. That makes sense. We
Paul
move.
carried hers.
Next up is a triple threat match, just a kind of a proven grounds match going into Money in the Bank with the three SmackDown competitors of the Money in the Bank matchup. So we have Butch, aka Pete Dunne, versus LA Knight and versus Santos Escobar. And throughout this, Santos carries the match in terms of in-ring performance, and he ends up getting the reign over Butch with a Phantom Driver. So LA Knight's not included in the finish. Oh, Bruce Pritchard failed me. I didn't expect that. I guess I will not be using him.
Maybe try him on a segment because he should be a good producer.
I would think, but okay, we give. Oh,
He might just not
ouch.
be good on like a cruiserweight style match.
LA Knight picks up the microphone after the other two competitors leave ringside, and he's like, "Let me talk to you." And he goes on. He's like, "I may have lost the match tonight, but come Money in the Bank, I will be the man climbing down that ladder with the briefcase." Yeah. Moving forward, we get a women's matchup on this show, thank God. And they get 15 whole minutes here as Zelina Vega faces Iyo Skye, which Zelina Vega gets to win a roll-up pin after Bayley accidentally hits Iyo Skye trying to help her out. That performed actually better than I expected. Zelina Vega has a strong connection with young female demographic. That's awesome.
I have never seen
I've
that
not seen that before.
producer note before.
That's awesome. Okay, good, because Zelina is in my plans.
Guess that means she's getting pushed.
I guess so. Oh, look at this. This went better than I expected, too. Carlito has returned to the World Wrestling Entertainment. He is back. He answers an open challenge from Austin Fury, and he's going to challenge for the United States Championship next.
Oh, look at that. Fury sucked in this, just like we expected.
Just like real life. We go into the United States Championship Open Challenge match. Carlito pins and becomes the new champion. He pins Austin Fury to become the new champion with a backstabber. Carlito wins the title on his first night back.
What a frankly dire performance.
Yeah, I guess he was off his game. He probably would have gotten closer to a 40, I guess, but...
Yeah, which kind of makes sense because, I mean, when people come back from long layoffs, they usually get penalized in their first couple of matches for ring rust.
Yeah.
And I know he's been working in Puerto Rico. I don't trust that the mod makers knew that.
And he's been working some other indies shit, the States, some too, but I mean, still...
Nothing's super well known, so it's very possible that the mod makers thought he was actually, like, unemployed for a while there.
Yeah. Up next, well, the LWO comes out to the ring and celebrates with Carlito. Okay, good. Santos likes going off script. That's fantastic. Ray struggles to improvise. It's actually not surprising. The other two that I always remember their name. Yep. I forgot to bring Zelina back out, but oh well. It's fine. Santos getting better at his gimmick. That's great too. But the LWO come out to celebrate with Carlito, who is a member of the LWO. They pass him a shirt while he's holding this title. He puts the shirt on, holds the title up. It's a whole fun affair. Okay, our main event match of the evening, the Bloodline Civil War Tag Team matchup. Damn. Jay and Solo, come on, bros. I guess Jay is still getting a 51 well off his game is a really good sign.
Yes, that should have been like a 54 or 55, which isn't
maybe
great.
Maybe even a little higher.
I think off your game is only like 3 or 4 points lost. Because there's also really off your game for more.
The Bloodline story gained heat, which is perfect. Of course, Jay
oh, look, there's really off the game right below.
Tag specialist bonus. Roman Reigns looked good. Oh, it was really off for both of them. So they probably...
Okay, then, yeah, he probably would have gotten like a 60 normally.
Yeah, probably.
Which isn't awful for Jay's
Solo would
level.
have gotten like a 45 probably, which is also pretty good for him. Okay.
Yeah, that's about what I'd expect for him.
Solo was the weak link, unsurprisingly. He's the less experienced guy, so...
I mean, we knew that. The guy's got, like, what, 2 years under his belt at this point?
Yeah. This match went just over 25 minutes. Jey Uso got the pin after the Usos hit their Uso splash on Roman. First time Roman's been pinned in over 3 years. He hasn't been pinned since December 2019 by Baron Corbin. This is a huge moment in the main event of SmackDown.
Makes your record books look a lot better that Baron Corbin isn't the last person to pin Roman clean, too.
And after the match, Roman and Solo showed their disgust in what has just taken place and attacked Usos. They especially focus on Jimmy, since Jimmy's the one who kind of turned Jay on them too. And Jimmy is not looking good at the end of this segment. Is he hurt? Hopefully not, but we'll find out next week. And that is SmackDown concluded. We got a 53 overall. We lost popularity. Ouch. Used the Bloodline too much, but I kind of had to sacrifice that. But it could have gone worse, honestly. I kind of was expecting worse, so I'm all right with this, in all reality. But we will sign off for SmackDown here. Tune in next week for the Go Home show, going into Money in the Bank. On Raw, expect a Money in the Bank proven grounds match for the Raw competitors of that match, as we saw tonight on SmackDown. And we will be back for AEW Collision for Bill's show.
When we arrive.
Good. We are back. We have some incidents awaiting us before AEW Collision, and I will let Bill talk about them.
Alright, something's going on with Tony Storm. The rest's all mentor stuff, but let's see what's going on with Tony.
Are you able to read that, or?
Yeah, I don't have the... You opened up the window. No, I don't have that window showing.
Shit. I guess you can't read it if you don't have the window. Let me try to fix that real fast, I guess.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to open the window for me, and it's like, oh, it's open.
Uno momento. There we go. And I'll have to make it bigger.
There we go, that's good. Okay. Tony Storm organized and won a video game tournament, cheering up my locker room.
Fantastic. And the rest
Which is good because I have problem people featured on this show that could do with being happy.
No way, you have no toxic people on your roster.
Although they're probably too straight edge to play the fucking video games. And pull that up a little bit.
Pull it up?
Yeah, it's cropped off at the bottom.
Oh, it is. Look at that. The rest of these will be Protege stuff anyway, so we'll just come back.
Probably just Spectre them click.
Okay.
Just in case something happens.
Yeah. Protege. If I see Protege, I'm just closing it. Protege Athena.
Oh, you're not even sharing the Protege, the window. It's gone back to the other window, and it's just a bigger version of it.
Oh, for God's sakes.
It's a good thing these are all Proteges that don't matter.
Okay. We will be back when AEW Collision is booked. Saturday night's alright for fighting. Welcome back.
But not alright for booking a fucking show properly.
Yeah, so from the start, we'll be transparent. Something's wrong with this mod, which we're going to figure out after we get through this show, because AEW Collision, for some reason, we're not sure if it's the mod maker, if it's the game's restraints. For some reason, it only is an hour-long show, which completely fucked up Bill's plans. So you will see that a lot of this was kind of just squished in for an hour's show instead of 2 hours, which Bill will talk about.
There will be segments on this show that you will see no evidence of in the actual game, because canonically the show is still going to occur as I booked it, because I need it to work that way for future booking plans.
Bill is
so there's a couple of segments that we couldn't fit on an hour show that had to still happen, so if this was a 2-hour show, they would be there.
Bill is taking the most liberties possible here. So
I spent 20 minutes booking this show. I'm not throwing that out the window because the mod is wrong.
Yeah. So we'll figure out what's going on with that once we get through this. But with that in mind, Saturday nights might be alright for fighting. And Bill will take us away with what's going on in this episode of AEW Collision.
Alright, so we open with the traditional brief little interview segments that they run on Collision at the start. And we have an interview from Claudio Castignoli talking about how he will defend against Daniel Garcia with his usual fairly uncharismatic presentation.
Although he did great here, apparently.
Yes. And then we have Daniel Garcia twerking his ass off and talking about how he's going to take the title from Claudio.
He looked dreadful doing his dance, apparently.
Lordy Mod has seen Collision. Because his dance is not good. It's awesome, but it's not good. And then finally, we get a interview segment with CMFTR talking up their match later tonight with the Acclaimed. And fortunately, all these matches actually make the video game version of the show, so we will see all of these.
Oh, shit.
And now, we get an in-ring segment where the JAS, in this represented by Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. But if it wasn't a pain in the nuts to modify, we'd have the entire JAS out here, but I don't even have enough character selections to do that. And they call out Jericho and want to know what the hell he was doing with Don Callis on Dynamite and in the previous weeks lead up to this, because Don has already been trying to lure Jericho over. And so Don comes out with a mic. And Don talks up the history Jericho had and how the JAS doesn't really appreciate him. They're just using him to get ahead. And Chris Jericho comes out and tells them he's thought long and hard about it, and he has made a decision, and he wants to leave with someone that really appreciates him. So him and Don hug, and he leaves with Don Callis, leaving the rest of the JAS kind of confused in the center of the ring. This is the official end of the JAS, although it won't be formally disbanded until after the show, because you can't disband a faction in the middle of a show.
Which is kind of annoying, but yes. Daniel Garcia is still performing bad. Jericho was real star, so that's cool. Sammy Guevara also impressed as well, so that's cool. So yeah, pretty solid.
I suspect the mod maker does not like Daniel Garcia.
It's starting to look that way.
Yes. We can ignore what's on the screen for a moment.
We have stuff that didn't happen in the game.
Next, there is a match that didn't happen here. It's a big guy brawl that I originally intended to use my wild brawl that I have to have every show on, where Miro beats Big Bill in 15 minutes with the Acclaimed.
Nice.
And now we move on to the actual next match that's booked and underperforming. Where Hikaru Shida faced Kris Statlander for the TBS title.
Ooh.
Despite what it says there, they went 15 minutes before Statlander got the win.
With her actual finisher, too, which is cool.
Yeah, it's nice when they hit the actual finisher, because some of these movesets are wild.
Also, Chris got the great new note that we saw with Zelina as well. So that's great.
Nice. They must have just added that. Because I booked Kris Statlander a lot, and I've never seen that before. Can you check my road agent notes? Because we had concerns about my... booking the... dirt sheet, that's what I meant. Yeah. I want to see if the road agent fucked this up. No, Arn did good. Good, because I put Arn on this. I put Arn on this, and then I got a 38 on the match. And I suspect it's just that this is a mod made by one of the people who believes that AEW doesn't push their women enough and therefore doesn't give them any popularity.
Yeah. All right.
Because that should have been in the 40s at least. And then we get a segment backstage where Taya Valkyrie... What the hell is this with Renee not doing good?
Didn't she do good on Dynamite?
Yes, and Renee is just generally good.
Maybe it's because it was so short? I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be because we compressed this segment down.
They totally got more than 2 minutes, guys. Believe us.
Yeah, in actuality, they had 5, but it was cut down to 2 minutes because I only had an hour. Where Taya Valkyrie is furious that Kris Statlander has the title. She thinks it's unfair that Kris Statlander got the belt off Jade Cargill after she had softened her up. This is the exact same angle they booked on Dynamite. I was hoping to actually make it better, but with the way the mod has some of these people entered, I suspect that I won't be. I have to keep reminding myself, too, that I'm only a small company in this, so...
Yeah, that will affect you a lot for a while.
I have pretty severe popularity caps that I'm constantly forgetting about, because in my personal save, my version of AEW is a medium company, so basically everyone does like 10, 20 points higher than they're scoring here.
Yeah, that is.
And so I keep feeling like stuff's awful when it's really not for a small company. Anyway, next we got the segment that is building this show around, pretty much. This is a match between the Acclaimed, where Max Caster looks suspiciously like Santana there, to the point that I suspect they might have the wrong photo pulled. But anyway, the Acclaimed and JAS face CMFTR. You might notice a parallel with a match I did on Dynamite, where the other side of a trios feud I'm building had a meaningless match that they won. This actually performed pretty well for a small company, so I'm happy. Although Max Caster did fucking dire.
Yeah. It's good to see Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness work extremely well together. That's good for your show.
Yeah. And Caster was probably just in a sulk over that photo he had, and I don't blame him at all.
CM Punk really carried this match and performed well, so that's cool.
That's the frustration of Punk. He carries everything until he gets into a sulk. And then he starts messing it up. But hopefully he'll be happy for a little while. Anyway, this was just a trios match. It was at 15 minutes, and the finish comes when BCG comes out and attacks the Acclaimed, leaving Billy Gunn unprotected to eat a pin from CM Punk.
Yeah, off of Shining Wizard apparently, but we'll pretend that's a GTS.
Yeah, I wish you could pick the actual finishing move instead of just the type of finish.
Me too.
Because Punk has never thrown a Shining Wizard in his life.
Oh, he has, but not since like 2006.
Yeah. And, spoilers, well, not really spoilers because it's non-canon, but we have Rampage where we can kind of have a few extra matches since we couldn't get rid of it in this save. And so we just let the computer auto-book it for the most part, unless we have someone that we need to manipulate their momentum.
Yeah.
Ryan's probably going to instate main event for the same reason, just so that they can manipulate momentum a little bit behind the scenes. But anyway, whatever happens there isn't canon to the ongoing shows, except I want to mention that the computer booked Max winning a match with a fucking Swanton Bomb.
Which is hilarious.
Yes. We're talking a man that's never gone to the top rope in his life, hitting a Swanton Bomb.
You want to keep using Sanjay Dutt. He's a great road agent.
Yeah, I fucking love Sanjay as a road agent. Segment. And then after the match, the screen lights up. Oh, I forgot to put CMFTR off screen so I could trigger the storyline. Oh well, doesn't matter. The storyline's already hot. But the screen lights up, and lo and behold, there's the Hung Bucks on the screen, and they're not overly happy about the mocking applause they got from CMFTR last week, so they're like, well, if you guys think you're so hot, why don't you come back to Dynamite next week, and we'll work things out ourselves.
Watch, come back to Wednesday nights.
And so next week, the main event of Dynamite, Tony tells us, is going to be the Hung Bucks versus CMFTR in a trios match.
On Dynamite, that's crazy. That's going to be a hell of a main event, folks. Stay tuned for that.
And then we have another non-canon segment. This is an ROH television title match because ROH has a couple of AEW wrestlers with titles that I still want to use. And this is just a match between Samoa Joe and Action Andretti. This was going to be my high spots match. And basically Joe bounces the poor kid around the ring for 15 minutes and then pins him.
That would actually be a really good match.
Oh yeah, it would have been awesome. And then we get a backstage interview package. And this is MJF. It was filmed backstage at Dynamite. It's airing now. And it's just MJF talking a whole bunch of shit about the Bullet Club Gold. Blackpool Combat Club. My notes, G and C look very similar when I'm writing quickly. No, MJF is just cutting a promo on Blackpool Combat Club. And you might wonder why that's here. Well, it's because we're going into a main event featuring the Bullet Club, or Blackpool Combat Club, where Claudio takes on Daniel Garcia in a 30-minute match that appears to be 15 because my show is half as long as it's supposed to be. And for once, the mod maker didn't hate Daniel Garcia.
Yeah. He's good in matches, I guess.
Yeah, and you know I can't hate too much on that because it's only really recently that he's gotten entertaining at all in promos. His promos used to be pretty terrible.
Yeah.
But
Claudio
this
actually
isn't...
won with his finish, too. The recording bomb.
Yeah, and they got half an hour because Rampage or Collision always has long matches on it.
I can't believe...
And I'm trying to book the actual feel of the two different shows.
I can't believe he broke the streak of Juice wrestling on Collision. How sad.
Man, there's only been 2 Collision episodes in my world. That streak is not as impressive. And Juice was in a wrestling ring.
True. Okay, you're just solid.
I'm happy with a 49 as a small company.
Yeah, I mean, you gained popularity in 16 regions, so you only lost in 1. I mean, we knew Daniel Garcia was used too much.
Yeah, and that's only because it's an hour-long show. If I used him that much on a 2-hour-long show, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah, exactly. So
anyway, we're going to sign off here and try to fix that Collision issue, and hopefully we will be back with Raw.
If not,
and if we can't, if not, and we can't fix the Collision, we'll be back to let you know what's happening. But most likely, we're going to have to find a different mod and reset this.
We'll see what happens. Okay, we'll be back. So a little update here. We actually were able to fix Collision, so it's just going to be a 2-hour show going forward. So no need to do any resets of the database or anything. We have a message here, though. We have a...
Turns out Kenny Omega is a body-shaming piece of shit.
Yeah, so Kenny Omega was rebuked by Yuji Okabayashi. Kenny Omega has caused a stir by saying on social media that he believes that all professional wrestlers have a duty to keep in good physical shape and that fat workers are lazy and an embarrassment to the sport. The comments have been called sizist and body-shaming by some. In particular from Yuji Okabayashi, who rightly pointed out that despite not having a six-pack, he could still put on great in-ring performances and pop a crowd. So
the Okabayashi thing isn't likely to affect her booking, but I do have Eddie Kingston in ROH that might have something to do with that. And ROH and AEW are pretty free on talent exchanges, so there might be some fallout from that Kenny Omega comment.
Yeah, so we figured we'd show that just in case we build that into the show a little bit. But
if I ever build it into the show, or if Eddie just happens to be in a locker room with Kenny and beats the shit out of him, because that's very possible knowing Eddie Kingston.
Yes. Anyways.
And I know that this game does contain clauses where people who don't like each other get into fights backstage, so that might end up happening.
Fair enough. Anyways, we will be back when Monday Night Raw is booked. So, see you then. Welcome back to Monday Night Raw. Across the nation. I don't know, that's an old song. But we are back with Monday Night Raw. Let's start this bitch. Starting the show off, Seth Rollins comes to the ring. Oh, getting his crowd going crazy. They won't shut up with their woes and everything. He comes out. He's over. He says he's ready for Finn Balor at Money in the Bank. He's ready for any challenge that's ahead of him. He'll even defend his title tonight. Finn comes out. He's very adamant that he has taken Seth's title at Money in the Bank. He needs to prove a point. He needs to redeem himself from 2016 when he won the Universal title for a night. He needs this win. And apparently Finn Balor doesn't have the microphone skills to be talking to Salon, which isn't too shocking, but did great improvising. Rhea helped Finn, and this crowd got the crowd off and show off to a strong start. So
I don't think you got hurt too much by Finn not having the mic skills.
No,
You still
apparently
got a
not. I got a
62.
62, so imagine if he didn't struggle. What could have been like a 65 or something, probably at least. Next up, we have, like we had on SmackDown, we just have a Proven Grounds match with the Money in the Bank competitors. We have Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ricochet versus Logan Paul. This one goes pretty crazy. These guys are here trying to steal the show. Apparently, Logan Paul and Ricochet were both off their game, which is a shame. Really off their game, apparently. So Ricochet probably could have gotten like a 56 or something. Logan Paul sold 45 probably. But Logan Paul ends up pinning Ricochet after a frog splash for the win. Probably would have used a buckshot lariat actually, but I forget what he calls that, but whatever.
It's a buckshot. Everyone knows it's a buckshot.
Yeah.
Even WWE fans were calling it a buckshot.
Yeah, I just know he has a different name for it. I just don't remember it. But yeah, pretty solid first match here. Then we go right into Becky Lynch versus Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark and Trish Stratus, of course, have been being menaces towards Becky Lynch, and all three of them are in the women's Money in the Bank match. So we're just having a little Proving Grounds match as well for the woman. And Becky gets a solid win by making Zoe tap out going into Money in the Bank, so she has some momentum. Trish Stratus did some good work at ringside, which is good. They are now both managing each other for some behind the scenes stuff. They have a storyline going now too. Zoe Stark would be nice if she starts performing a little better, but Becky did carry this to a pretty decent rating, so it doesn't matter too much.
I think your women are suffering from the same problem mine is, that the mod maker doesn't seem to respect women's wrestling very much.
So far this show's going alright.
Yeah, but even like the performances for Zoe Stark and so were pretty dire.
Yeah, but I mean,
she had like a 25. That's not fair.
Yeah. After the match, Becky picks up a mic, so he's selling her arm after tapping out. Trish is there at ringside. She ends up grabbing a mic too, but Becky's saying how she's looking forward to kicking Trish's ass and beating her up with ladders on Sunday, and then taking the briefcase, so she can be on her way to become women's champion again. Trish Stratus says Becky has everything coming to her. And this may be her first Money in the Bank ladder match, but she's gonna walk out with that briefcase, and not Becky, and she will be an 8-time WWE Women's Champion. A lot of green, like to see it.
Yeah, that segment went off real well.
We have Giovanni Vinci facing Matt Riddle, just Matt facing one of Gunther's guys before he gets an IC title shot at Money in the Bank. He pins Vinci with an RKO. That actually sounds appropriate. Storyline, gain heat. Good. That's solid. That's better than I thought it would be, honestly.
If you ever want to split RK Bro in the future, the game's laying the groundwork for you.
Yeah.
Riddle using Randy's move.
Well, he has been since he's been out and stuff, and even before he was out, I think he was using it a bit.
I stopped watching before Riddle was even in the company, so.
After that, well, he started using it with Randy and RK Bro, and then he's been using it since Randy's been out as like tribute to his friend and whatever.
Okay. I could still see if they want to split him up, doing a thing where Randy gets pissy about it.
It still works well. Two storylines on the go, intercepting here, crossing with each other. Imperium go to attack Matt Riddle as a unit after the match, where Kevin and Sami come and save Riddle after they're angry because of Imperium costing them the trios match last week. Kevin Owens getting better as a gimmick. That's good. So we have Kevin and Sami are also feuding with Imperium on side, Finchie and Kaiser. Then Kevin and Sami pick up a mic and they talk some shit about Imperium real fast, and Kevin's angry and his blood pressure's up, and he's like, "What? You guys cost us the match last week. This is what you guys get. We're gonna kick your ass. You want a match with us? Blah blah blah. All this shit." And then Sami kind of calms Kevin down, and then Sammy's like, Kevin, hold up, we didn't just come out for this, remember? And then they both kind of tease an announcement coming at Money in the Bank. Kevin Owens looked great. Sammy enjoyed the freedom. Good stuff there. I'm happy with that.
Kevin's probably still a little salty about Kenny insulting him on the internet, too.
Yeah. Bronson Reed gets a hell of a shot here as he faces Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship here. Seth Rollins defending this title as the fighting champion he is before Money in the Bank, and he does win. I'm just gonna say he got a pedigree win apparently, but yeah, that's good. I'm fine with that actually. Solid, actually very solid effort. I didn't think this match would do that well. Bronson Reed actually pulling his own weight decently here. That's good to see. After that, we have go backstage. Baron Corbin has shown up on Raw. He's a free agent, so he can go to any show he wants to. Just a reminder. And Baron Corbin's coming to Raw, and he walks right up to Cody backstage, and he challenges him to a match right in the main event right after this. So, and went well. Both did well here. Baron Corbin gets his match with Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes did not win with the beautiful disaster kick. He won with the crossroads. We're going to explain that. Boo! Solid match here for
Dashing Cody Rhodes was best Cody.
But solid here. Good to see. Honestly, this show's going way better than I thought it would. I'm glad to see this working out. Then the show's not over yet though, because after the match, oh my god, Dominic and Rhea Ripley are out here beating the shit out of Cody. Dominic underperforms in this. Rhea getting herself over and getting better at a gimmick here though, and Cody came across.
I told you it was a bad idea to put Dominic in the fight.
Yeah, well, I just needed him. Dominic and Rhea needed to stand tall before the pay-per-view, so they just menacingly stand over Cody after they lay him out. Let's see how this show performed for me. I still lost popularity in 24 regions, but the shows are getting better a little, so that's good. Anyway, this is Raw. That was Raw. Do you want to do your Dynamite, or are we gonna sign off here?
Let's sign off here.
Okay. So we will sign off here, guys. This has been episode 2 of our WWE x AEW collaborative book and playthrough in TEW2020. I think we both had a decent amount of fun today. We got through 3 shows pretty good. I
think 3 shows is probably going to be our average going forward, unless we have a lot of time, because it takes a certain amount of time to book these, even if we can avoid most of the backstage stuff that we had to deal with on the first episode.
Yeah, I think each episode it'll just go episode by episode too, because it just depends on how long we take too. I think I'm gonna get faster at booking as time goes along, because these shows will take me a bit longer because I'm being careful and not being as creative, because I'm trying to stick to relatively kind of what has been going on in real life a bit.
Yeah, and as I mentioned behind the scenes, but I'll say it again for the audience, you kind of painted yourself into a corner with giving yourself 2 weeks before Money in the Bank. I mean, it's kind of necessary just because of the nature of WWE's monthly pay-per-views.
Yeah.
But it creates a circumstance where you had a time where you just didn't have much booking time, and you're trying to do a ton of stuff in a very short period.
I think I still don't have a June show set up because of the schedule and issues we were having at the start.
Yeah, you couldn't figure out what you wanted in June, but we figured we had a year to work it out.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll figure.
They go real behind the scenes.
Yeah, but
Ryan changed some pay-per-views, and then
which you'll
couldn't figure out what to do for June.
You guys will see some of the changes I made later in the year, which will be fun. But yeah, this was fun. We got 3 shows done. It'll be a pretty episode by episode basis on how much we get done. Blah blah blah. We hope you're enjoying the stories we're telling so far. Bill's show is more creative because I've limited myself at the start of this, but after I get through Money in the Bank, you guys should notice.
Yeah,
a real shift.
You're setting yourself the challenge of keeping the Money in the Bank pretty much as was.
Yeah.
Pretty much limited you for that one. Whereas I just know how terrible my memory is, and didn't want to try to figure out what they were doing at the start of July, and what I was thinking of was from June, what I was thinking of was from later shows. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'll do it my own way.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been making some small changes as we go, but relatively the build and the matches for going to the Money in the Bank and at Money in the Bank are the same and blah, blah, blah. After Money in the Bank, though, you'll notice some of the results at Money in the Bank are different, and then after that, I will be getting more creative, so hopefully my shows become a little more entertaining and successful. But Bill's been doing some good shit. We fixed Collision. We didn't know that was an issue going in, but we fixed it now, so we won't have to deal with that anymore.
My blood pressure appreciates having 2 hours for Collision.
Yes.
Given that that's supposed to be my slow-paced classic wrestling show, here I am like trying to jam it into an hour.
Yeah, they're all getting 10-minute matches and shit.
Yeah, my magnum opus long Collision stereotypical long match was 15 minutes because I didn't have any time.
Yeah. Anyways, we hope you enjoyed this. If you are enjoying this, please show us some support on the channel. It lets us know you want to see more of this. We hope you come back for episode 3. I think next week we'll probably try to fit in another WCW episode, and then we'll come back the week after.
Next week should be WCW. It's working out good when we were alternating.
Yeah, we were trying to alternate.
We're trying to alternate when we don't have life get in the way for a week.
Yeah, we're trying to alternate each week. We're going to try to do WCW, then WWE x AEW. Last week we wanted to do a WCW, but life got in the way. That we had a storm in our area, so we just didn't want to risk it, and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, if you enjoy this, please would like, subscribe, comment, and even share if you would like to. Hope you enjoyed it. We will see you on the next episode, hopefully. And peace out.
Have a good one, everyone.